let's check out Tim Pool for a moment while you're here, Francesca.
Oh,
Tim,
happy.
the other day, pinpointed what the problem with liberals is, and the big one is, of course, they don't understand what slavery is.
I've gone to foreign. I'll just keep it kind of private
Foreign?
because the people who are at this restaurant might know, but it was a non-American style of food, and their employees appeared to be indentured servants, and they got very mad when I pointed something like this out. That's illegal.
Wait,
Pause
can
it.
I,
Wait.
Can I guess it's sushi? Can I just guess it's sushi?
With the boys?
I went to foreign.
No, they'd have the sushi with the boys is brought in.
The boish.
Wait, are the boys
The
servants?
sushi with the boys. Don't we have the picture of the pool table? I mean, the poker table.
Oh yeah.
We gotta bring
do.
that up. The sushi
Are there a
boys
bunch of
is
dogs
brought-
playing again around it?
No, it's actually they have a sushi with the boys poker table at Tim Pool's place. So it's not. I mean, it's not.
It's the
sushi.
same table? Whoa. This whole time they've been eating sushi off the poker table?
You
I'm
use
sure
sushi
they-
as the chips.
These. But I like how he said, like,
I'll
they
see you
appear
on
to be
Yellowtail.
indentured servants. How do you what makes someone appear to be an indentured servant?
They look
Sam.
Asian.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Of course. Good.
I've gone to foreign. I'll just keep it kind of private because
Eatery?
the people who are at this restaurant might know, but it was a non-American style of food, and their employees appeared to be indentured servants, and they got very mad when I pointed something like this out.
What did you say?
That's illegal. You're allowed to do that. Like if you live in, say, like China, and you're like, I want passage to the United States, so they say, okay, we're gonna have you work a debt off for us. We don't do that in the United States. The issue is that children cannot enter into these contracts. Children cannot agree to be smuggled. That's trafficking.
Craziest answer.
Children who are on a farm doing labor illegally in this country.
Pause it for a second.
they're-
Also, I
kids
should
aren't allowed
tell
to work.
you, hold on. I mean, just in case for any of our foreign restaurateurs listening, even if they're adults, you cannot traffic them in this country. You can't,
Well,
like,
but if they're your aunt or mom, it's always like a grandma peeling a bunch of fava beans in the corner, and you're like, she's been at it for a long time. That's not indentured servitude, though. That's just love of the game. But I will say, it's not clear that he's in the United States. I went to foreign ... What? I
No,
don't want to name the
he's-
cuisine.
I think he's talking about the Japanese restaurant that he frequents all the time and took Kanye to and asks and talks about it a lot in West Virginia, where he's from. Like,
Because if he said, like, yeah, it was a Japanese or a Chinese restaurant or whatever, it would pretty be there. There's only a few options.
probably
Right,
one in a
exactly.
50-mile radius
Exactly.
of where he's at.
all right, but
Work a
let's
debt
just
off.
go back. Go ahead.
Legal. You're allowed to do that. Like if you live in, say, like China, and you're like, I want passage to the United States, so they say, okay, we're gonna have you work a debt off for us. We don't do that in the United States. The issue is that children cannot enter into these contracts. Children cannot agree to be smuggled. That's trafficking. Children who are on a farm doing labor illegally in this country, kids aren't allowed to work on farms like this to the degree that they're having these people. That would then be upgraded from indentured servitude to slavery because they don't have a choice. And so here we are. The question is, you know what I think? You know what I think it is? I think it's because the American liberal thinks slavery is a black man in a field being beaten.
Yes.
They don't realize that slavery affected every level of American society, from grocery stores to government to building houses. In the mind of the liberal, when you talk about slavery,
pause
they
it for
imagine it's a
second.
guy in a
Pause
field.
it for a second. It's possible there were grocery stores in the late 1800s, probably more of like a general store. But the idea that liberals are not aware that slaves weren't just in the field. Thomas Jefferson had slaves on his plantation doing everything from building stuff to, blacksmithing to baking. He brought his slave to France to learn French cuisine. I mean, for God's sakes, Tim Pool's perspective on what other people know is a projection of things that he just didn't realize until he was in his early 30s.
What's the conclusion? I'm waiting for the conclusion and I'm excited for it, but I also don't understand, like, I still haven't heard slavery bad come out of his mouth. Like, they don't understand that actually, you know, when you're making some delicious Japanese food within a 50-mile radius of my home, it's not slavery. Like, I'm not quite sure what he's saying. And I love the idea that the place that he frequents all the time was like not happy that he was like, hey, you got slaves here. Oh, they're slaves. Anyway, it's pretty good yellowtail. Like, I don't like what? They were mad.
Let's put it up. Keep going.
Yes. They don't realize that slavery affected every level of American society, from grocery stores to government, to building houses. In the mind of the liberal, when you talk about slavery, they imagine it's a guy in a field. But there were people who worked a blacksmith, and he had slaves, and the slave would make horseshoes. Nobody was hitting him, but that was not his choice. He did not want to be there, and they were enslaved.
Wait, so
I see.
Nobody was hitting him.
I
got news for you. If that guy tried to leave, he would be beaten.
There were also things called house slaves, where there were often, you know, women whose they weren't supposed to be beaten because it was better for the master to rape them when she didn't have, you know, welts all over her face or body or things like that. That I don't know any liberal that has said that slavery was just confined to the fields.
Liberals know that the people making the barrels, like Coopers, in other words, those were also black people in Virginia. Like the Smiths, like, yeah. What's the point he's trying to make?
This is him finding this stuff out very recently, and then projecting it on like no liberal ever told me before that there were slaves that were just working in the fields. And so I just assume they don't know this.
It's kind of DeSantis-y, like they had skill. Remember when DeSantis is like, oh, slavery, actually, they learned a bunch of great skills underneath that. And maybe
like I said, Jefferson brought one of his slaves to France when he was there for a year or two to learn French cuisine and bring it back. And
the amount of labor violations for child laborers, by the way, has been dramatically increasing over the past few years. And you have governors in red states like Sarah Huckabee Sanders rolling back paperwork requirements for employers when they use child labor, because it's quite obvious that they're using children who are undocumented and they don't want to have a record of that. So if he was so concerned about things that resemble indentured servitude in this country, perhaps he would address it. But the caption of this video from Timcast, just this bottom thing, makes me think that, can we put that up? The American liberal doesn't view illegal immigrant children forced to work on farms as slavery because they don't understand what slavery truly is. And the liberal media refuses to report on it. Just how they frame it. So the question is are you essentially saying that these ICE raids are liberating these kids?
That is exactly what he is saying.
So that's the implication. Well, ask them. Ask them if that's the case. What he's trying to say is this is for their own good, our brutalization of them. If he was interested in addressing labor exploitation, join all of the left in talking about raising the minimum wage, in cracking down on companies that abuse children in this way, on allowing these people to become citizens so that they can have full rights and protections and they can't be exploited by the legal gray area of immigration and national security by a government that's now throwing people into a concentration camp down in Florida and just basically black sites.
In fact, that's the solution to slavery, was to, instead of, we're not going to send these people to Liberia or wherever, back to Africa, we're going to make them full citizens. And we're going to be citizens next to them with full equal rights.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's simpler than you guys are making out to be. I think he's basically just like, slavery wasn't that bad because you didn't just work in the field. It's the Ron DeSantis thing. It's the same old thing. They were taken care of. They were offered poker and sushi with the boys. Like that's what he thinks slavery was like. And also there's a little bit of an implication that that it wasn't just Black people. Like, I feel like he wants to sort of go there. Like, he was eating at a restaurant.
Yes.
And yet again, it's very like Asian coded that, and it wasn't just Black people. That's the vibe I'm getting. But yeah, I mean, here in LA, people, street vendors are being swept up off the streets, and their children are working their stands and carts for them. And it's just insane what is happening. Nannies are being disappeared. I'm on like mom groups, nannies are being disappeared from like nice neighborhoods, people who can afford nannies, and their kids are being put in like the back of ICE cars to wait. It's a really wild time. We're like in a very unprecedented moment right now, and continue to be.
It's only gonna get worse. Do we have more? Yeah. Is there more on that?
That's it, Matt says. But like on the part about him arguing that it is slavery, it might be a good thing. I mean, or that it wasn't that bad, Francesca. That actually kind of that might be logical based on what he's arguing in terms of like the construction of his argument. If he's saying it's a good thing for these ICE raids to happen because they're being liberated from, I don't know, the worst parts of slavery, the ones that work in the fields, but the reality is that immigration enforcement is a tool of bosses to keep these employees in check. And
like slave catchers.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I would love to see some footage of ICE raiding one of these job sites and walking out with the boss.
Never happened.
Yep.
Well, Sam, I think that's a very harsh way to frame what we're trying to do in this country.
Did you hear that she feels the Epstein stuff is a distraction?
Oh, absolutely. But anything to take the heat off of my massive failures in Texas are good.
No, Sam, you're confusing Pelosi, Francesca's Pelosi and Kristi Noem. This is Noem.
I didn't get.
Pelosi's here.
Oh, I see.
Now, Kristi Noem, Sam, I think is much more here.
You activated the nose a little bit more. The nasal.
It's every single muscle in your face must be activated, and as soon as we roll out new alligator Alcatrazes, you're going to see some things you have never seen before, and we're going to go after podcasters. Indeed, you're going to be held at what we're calling in Montana grouse Guantanamo, and you don't want to be attacked by a grouse. It's quite something else.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.